Welcome, darlings, to Top of the Game, where 5 daring individuals will attempt to win the Top of the Game trophy and £5,000. They will be hunting, cooking, and striving quite hopelessly, dare I say, to impress me, Tabitha. But there'll be a twist and challenges along the way. Join me, Tabitha Fox Club, as we find out who's top of the game! In the United Kingdom of Great Britain, there's this field, and in this field, there's rabbit warrens. And where there's rabbit warrens, there's this dog. And where there's this dog, there's this dog's family. Look at those happy smiles. Doesn't it take you back? George will be ferreting today. Do tell us what the plan is.
So we're just in this fence line here looking for rabbit holes basically. So it goes all the way along and they're all quite interconnected. So we're trying to find bits that we can sort of secure off and isolate so that we can get a big long net around it and then a few purse nets over the holes and then get the dogs working in and amongst them. Hopefully we can get some food for Tabitha for later.
I hope so too, George. Now, funnily enough, there was a gentleman with a hawk, so George and the family naturally stopped to chat. But because the gentleman is Scottish, we've got a translator to find out exactly what was said.
I got my hawk from down there and my face was flushed when it happened because it was aliens. And they gave me this bird and I said, what you give me this bird for? And they just said, we think you can use it. Aye, am brew. I just got it from down there, over there. Just over there.
Anyhow, that was that. George, do give us some pointers, darling.
It's worth spending an hour or two just netting up, just making sure you've secured your area before you start putting ferrets down, otherwise they always bolt out the holes you've not noticed. So I think, from what I can see, the set sort of finishes here. So I'll bring a long net off of this section here and then go all the way up there. And then we'll purse net any of the really well used holes that you can see, because we're probably not going to have enough nets to do every single hole. That's why we've got the long net as a fail safe. So all the really well used ones where you can see they're coming in and out regularly, nice freshly dug dirt, make sure you get some nets on them bad boys.
And that they do. And it's a race to get to the bag of purse nets. George, aka Dad, sets up the long nets, a more expansive barrier designed to catch any rabbits that bolt from uncovered holes. The idea is to funnel the rabbit into these key exits, increasing the chances of a clean catch. And it's a great team effort. Now with everything in place, it's time to work the warren. And kicking off with the first run is Tina. Collar on, she's sent down the hole.
Where'd it come from? So we bolted a few rabbits, but where we're unable to get holes on nets on every single hole, they're coming up and then going back down again. And because of the time of the year, they're not bolting as confidently as they usually would. They've started to pair up, they've started thinking about having young. So it can be a bit tricky when it gets like this. So that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it anyway. But we'll fire another ferret down and see if we can get them moving, see if we can put a bit of pressure on them, get them bolting, and then hopefully the dogs will push them into that net.
So next up is Pat, a tenacious little lady. What a firecracker.
The A-team.
And it doesn't take long for Pat to rustle up a rabbit. But then Tina decides to, well, get lost. Correct me if I'm wrong, George, is that a ferret finder?
It's a ferret finder, yeah.
Thank you, darling. Tell us what it can do.
A search and a locate function on it, so you can search goes to 16 foot, so you can just like sweep around, try and find roughly where your ferrets are. Find where they are.
Thanks to the ferret finder, Tina is found. And George calls it a day.
Got one rabbit for the pot. I just got to prep her up and cook it. See you in the kitchen.
Not quite. Giles! As you all know, it's time for the Hunter's Challenge. Giles has placed 3 different objects in and around the rabbit warren. George has to correctly identify each object in the fastest time possible. Start the clock.
How many things are there? Must be the other way. Here somewhere. Oh, what's this? Tub of Vaseline. God, bloody hidden these well. Oh, what we got here? Brown sauce. Hello. Silver spoon.
George successfully found all 3 items and identified them in the time of 5 minutes, 38 seconds. That'll do, Giles. Now on to the kitchen.
So we've got, I call it Trini style rabbit, but it's like a Trinidad inspired green seasoning on rabbit basically. And then we're gonna fry that off, and then we're gonna have some rice with it, rice and pea, and corn on the cobs as well.
Sounds positively lovely. George adds brown sugar to a pot of oil. He lays a baking tray with tin foil and cooks the sugar until it caramelizes. He then adds the rabbit and fries off, allowing for a tasty caramelized coating.
In an ideal world, you'd do this and then stew it for the day. But it'd still be nice like this.
I'm sure it will. He adds the rabbit to the baking tray, making sure to scrape up all of the flavour from the pot. He then goes on to add some beer, covers, and pops into the oven. For how long would you say?
For about half hour, 40 minutes, something like that.
Thank you, darling. In a pot, he puts black-eyed peas, Scotch bonnet, rice, and curry goat flavouring, along with some sweet corn in a separate pot. He cooks, and voila! Rabbit is served. So there we have it. That's Trini-style rabbit with corn on the cob and rice and pea. Now it's time for me to eat. He's got ferrets. Cars gone by. It's going to be disgusting. So I'm just about to meet George, and hopefully he's cleaner than the animals he keeps. We've got antibacs, yes? Yes? George!
Hello, Tabitha.
Darling.
Coming in.
Thank you.
Bon appetit.
The rabbit is gorgeous, I must say. So do tell me about your ferrets.
Well, I've been keeping ferrets for about 15 years now. And I started off with a couple of big old, we used to call them the badgers, big giant hobs, big huge ferrets like this. And the reason I'd done that was because with the Jills, the female ferrets, you have to kick them out of season every year, and I thought that was quite a lot of effort, so I thought I'd just get myself a couple of hobs to start. They were good ferrets, good working ferrets, but my God, every time you put them down the hole, they'd go to ground, they'd get hold of the rabbits, and you know, you'd end up digging all the time. So I persevered with that for years. Take them to the vets, get a Jill jab, or have a litter of ferrets. And when you've got like 6 Jills, and you know, they can have like sort of 9 or so. But saying that, a couple of them are ancestors, really. You know, so.
Oh, excuse
Dear
me.
Lord, everything all right?
Sorry, darling. Yeah, I'm just fine. Can I just pop to your toilet, darling?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It won't be long.
You good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm fine. We need to leave. We need to leave now. I'm not staying. I'm not doing this, Derek. We're going out the window if we have to. Fucking locked in here. Hello. Young man, send for help. Christ, he's the most boring man I've ever met. My great aunt Maud's doing more with her life than his, and she's dead, Derek. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to finish the show now. Well, I don't know what else to say. Apart from sorry. Up next is Beaky. Can she fly fish her way to victory? I think not. Because quite frankly, she's a cowbag and I don't like her. Join us next time for more Top of the Game.